And we are live. Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of the Disney Movie Review. And it seems like every single time we do these movie reviews, I get the bad movies.
Put it this way, it's you've drawn the short straw for this one.
Oh my God, it's so funny. But no. Welcome in, everybody, to another Disney movie review as we review George of the Jungle, a movie that Dan, neither one of us had seen it till this week, right?
Oh gosh, I
hadn't seen it.
Let me tell you something, Eric. This week, I watched 3 movies I've never seen before.
Really?
I saw Beetlejuice, Uncut Gems, which came out last year with Adam Sandler, and George of the Jungle. This, by far, was the worst out of the 3.
Yep, absolutely. Well, we're going to talk about it for sure. But welcome in, partner channel. My buddy right over here, Dan. Good to see you, buddy. You ready for today?
I'm so excited, dude.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. But before we get into the movie itself, I do want to do some quick housekeeping. Of course, we have Dean over at The Live Place, theliveplace.com. Be sure to check out Dean. He is family-friendly streamers all over the place on his website. Be sure to check him out, theliveplace.com. Of course, our 2 partner channels. This guy right over here, Disney Dan, goes live on Thursdays with Nuts About Disney.
Nuts About Disney on Thursdays.
We have Fridays, Food Fridays, which have been fantastic and are back in full effect. Disney Fiasco on Saturdays, and of course, right here on Sundays with me. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And of course, then Steve from Steve's World is our other partner channel. To be sure to check out Steve. Steve goes live on Mondays with Just Another Monday Night. Of course, he's Wednesdays with Disney, and usually on Saturdays. We weren't there this Saturday, guys, and I apologize. But usually on Saturday nights with me for Sports Night. Other than that, thank you to all of our members. Membership is here. If you are looking to be a member, there is a join button right down below. Never expected, always voluntary, but thank you to all of our members for your generosity and loyalty. And our newest member is Ray J. So, Ray J, welcome in.
Yay.
And let's go ahead and check the chat. Let's see who we got in here. Wendy Lou, one of our members, is here. Wendy, good to see you, dear. Caitlin Make It Blue is here as well, a Disney Vacation. She's a member as well. Caitlin, good to see you. James Ryan, another member, is here. Disney Dan is here, all the way from the UK. Dan, if you ever meet Disney Dan, tell him I said hi.
Yeah. He's a lot like George.
No, not at all. He's a lot smarter than George. Melissa's here. He's in the other room. G. Wilson is here as well. It's Joey's World. Joey's World is... I'm sorry we missed you guys this weekend. I know they were at Disney a little bit, and then they were at Universal. But Joey's World, good to see you guys. Let's see who else is here. Brian's in the house. What's up, Brian? Brian Eisenhart, another one of our members. What's up, Brian? Good to see you, buddy. I'm all packed for my flight home. Yep, he's heading home. But I think that's it right now. As more people are coming in, we will say hi. John Hazelton. What's up, John? Good to see you, buddy. And Wendy, it's good to see you again, too, dear. I know it's been a little while since we've seen you. I hope you're doing well. And we definitely missed you. That's one of the things I got to say this real fast, Dan. One of the cons of not doing the everyday daily Disney discussion I was doing is it was a great time for a lot of people, and I don't see them as much now. So I definitely missed that.
Yeah, but it's good to see everyone here, though.
It is. It definitely is. So let's.
We both have a lot to say about this movie.
Well, usually what we'll do with movies. When we do movie reviews, we'll talk about the plot. I don't even know that that's possible.
Is there even a plot to this movie?
Right, exactly. I don't even know that that's possible because we'll break down like the beginning, the middle, and the end, and sum it up. That's like the Impossible Burger. This is the Impossible movie.
This movie is the closest thing to a Saturday morning cartoon live action movie there possibly is. So those Saturday morning cartoons for kids that are so bad, but they've taken that, made it live action.
Well, I think they did. Wasn't George of the Jungle a cartoon first?
It was.
Okay.
But I think they literally made this cartoon in real life, like literally the cartoon itself. Like all the characters are very. You know how last week we talked about how the characters were very human-like, whereas this week, yeah, it's not going to. Yeah, we got a lot to say.
We do. Caitlin's right. Every time I say Make It Blue, I say Make It Blue a Disney vacation. It's a Disney adventure. I think I am in need of a vacation.
Especially after this movie.
Oh my gosh. Richard R. Johns.
Hey.
Richard the Legend R. Johns. That's his full name. That's his legal name. Richard, welcome in, buddy. Good to see you. Captain Akron is here. Kay Atwood is here. Good to see everybody. Matt Harris is here. Matt, good to see you.
Hey, Matt.
Thoughts on Max and Thor? Okay. You're going to have to really help me through this movie because let me say this. I literally watched and stopped this movie 3 times.
Oh, no.
Okay? 3 times. Melissa will tell you because she came home and she goes, "You're still watching that?" Because she went over to Mason's apartment to help him with a few things and take him to the store. And she's like, "You're still watching that?" I'm like, I can't get through it.
So I was very surprised that this has an animated opening. I'm like, what am I watching? It was a very flashy film. Opening, very cartoon, very, very cartoon-like. I would honestly say if anyone, on a serious note, if anybody suffers from things like epilepsy, do not watch the opening. It's very intense. Like it's very in your face. Like boom, 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 boom. And from the start of this film, throughout the whole film, there is the most unnecessary narrator I think I've ever seen in a film. You could have taken out the narrator of this film, and this movie instantly would be 10 times better. He is like, in the jungle, blah, 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 back in San Francisco, back in the jungle. And I'm just like, it's just so not needed. This narrator was really annoying.
There's so many unnecessary parts to this movie. I don't even know where to begin. But you're right. So actually, the beginning with the animation, even that, as it's kind of given the credits as well, is kind of telling you a story.
Yeah,
it's a dumb one, but the way they tell it is kind of ridiculous. But they're telling you how George got into the jungle. That's what they're kind of doing. Is they're telling you that. Kinda. You know, because there's the baby. I don't even know how to explain it.
I just don't get it. I think they just I don't know. I'm already lost, and it's already the opening of this movie. The opening of this movie tried to give us a lot of backstory about George, and it made me even more confused when I was going into this film.
Yeah, it was, but it's first off, it's Brendan Fraser, and it really is Brendan Fraser
being Brendan Fraser.
But like Brendan Fraser is really good in the Mummy movies. Okay, I love the Mummy, and he's fantastic in, especially the first Mummy movie. He's spot on.
He's great.
He's a live action. He is an action guy in this movie. He's an action star. He really is. I mean, he really. Kudos to him in that movie. But with this movie,
I don't know really. So I want to.
Mouse, welcome in.
Hey, Addiction Mouse, good to see you. So the first kind of thing we hear about is when the explorers are sitting around the campfire, and the elder explorer with the white beard, he talks about.
That's Richard Roundtree. It's Richard Roundtree, who is Shaft. He's the original Shaft. Right.
I did not know that.
Yes, he is. That's the original 1970s version Shaft. If I'm not, anybody in the chat, you're more than welcome to correct me if I'm wrong, but that's who that is. And welcome in, Tina McNeil. Good to see you. But that's who that is. That's Shaft.
The camera zooms in very slowly on him talking about the white ape. And it's like he's talking about the Ark of the Covenant from Indiana Jones. He's like this mysterious man, mysterious white ape who lives in the jungle, and he's making it sound like George of the Jungle is the most mysterious, uniquely crazy. Like it feels like the Ark of the Covenant from Indiana Jones, and you're just like, this is ridiculous.
I know.
It's stupid. It's like it's so unnecessary.
Yep. Welcome in, Super Disney fan. Good to see you. But basically, so he's in the jungle and he's living in the jungle by himself. I'm assuming he was raised by the monkeys or by the gorillas, not monkeys because they're different. He's raised by the gorillas. Then this is where it kind of goes off the rails. His dance bed made tonight.
It's not actually. It's not. I completely raged.
Pete Pete comes in with some of the best lines. Pete, good to see you, buddy. It's dance bed made tonight. Get him, Dan. Get him.
George is summoned to the treehouse by monkeys, by gorillas playing the drums in a circle. He is summoned to the treehouse by gorillas playing the drums in a circle. They're like, right, every gorilla, you got to sit in a circle. You got to sit in a circle and you got to play as if you're playing the drums, because you're not actually going to play the drums. We're going to have some people backstage playing the drums for you, but you got to act as if you're playing the drums.
It's so funny, I know. Welcome, Dixie Mouse goes, I'm not going to lie, I love this movie as a teenager. Less to do with the cinematic genius and more to do with feature in a loincloth. Welcome in, Donna Jaworski. Donna, good to see you here. Another one of our members and just a wonderful person in this community. Good to see you, Donna. It's true. Caitlin makes a good point. It might be the best part of the whole movie. It's so much out for that tree.
There is much. I have made pages of notes on my phone. The thing I'm going to talk about next, after you talk about this gorilla thing, you will.
Well, here's. So he's in the jungle all this time, and we find out that there's this incredibly smart gorilla that can talk. He speaks English. He can read. He can cook. He can play chess. How the heck did he learn to do this?
John Cleese.
It's John Cleese, too, of all people.
How? I cannot believe the directors and writers went to John Cleese and say, hey, would you like to be in this movie about a talking gorilla and George of the Jungle like Tarzan, and you're going to be playing chess? And, oh, my God. John Cleese, you are crazy. Why did you accept this role?
Did that monkey just speak? That monkey just spoke. But they don't explain how he was so. I mean, he's a genius. He's smart. He's unbelievably smart. And you're like, how? What? Could it certainly wasn't George that taught him. So who taught him? Did he teach himself?
So even before we get to that, we got the explorers on the bridge. Remember the bridge scene? And let me quote here. The guy falls off the bridge, and then the narrator goes, don't worry, no one dies in this movie. They just get very big boo-boos. The narrator says that in the movie. And then he just cuts the scene with him, like, with a thing on his head. And then you have George of the Jungle versus a lion. And you hear a wrestling bell. They go, ding, ding, ding. And George bounces off a rubber tree. He bounces off a rubber tree in the jungle.
I know. Look. In all seriousness, let me say this. I understand that the whole movie is supposed to be tongue-in-cheek. It's supposed to be off-the-wall stupid.
There's a difference between being tongue-in-cheek and utter ridiculous.
You're right. Well, maybe it was supposed to be utter ridiculous, because if it was, then it hit its mark on the head. It is utter ridiculous. What I think they're trying to do here, Dan, in my opinion, was they were trying to make it a cartoon, but in live action form.
Right.
Because in a cartoon, he would bounce off of a rubber tree. You know he would. And in a cartoon, he would twirl the lion above his head like that in a cartoon. And I'm assuming that's what they were trying to do, was just make it real life instead of a cartoon. I don't know how else to put it, because every time I'm looking, I'm like, what?
It's your Saturday morning cartoon in real life. That's what it is. That's what it is. And when I saw Ape for the first time, I wrote down gorilla nanny with glasses and apron ? WT it speaks. Name ape voiced by John Cleese. What ? I mean, I just don't get it. I don't get it.
And then you got the two guys. Well, I'll bring up. Somebody said, wasn't somebody wearing leather pants? Yes, someone was wearing leather pants.
Oh my gosh.
And we'll get to that. But okay, so then we get to the part where they introduce Leslie Mann. We all know who Leslie Mann is, and Thomas Hayden Church. Another, he's a good actor. He's not a great actor, but he's a good actor. Thomas Hayden Church from Wings and Sandman and Spider-Man 3. So he's a pretty good actor. There's no backstory to these two. Why is she even in the jungle?
I think who was the actress who played her?
Leslie Mann. Welcome to Simba 2.
Leslie Mann, poor performance. I think she was so poor in this film.
Oh.
I found her annoying, irritating. She couldn't get her lines out. And she's like, George! And I'm just like, what, are you in Home Alone or are you in the jungle? I mean, really, really bad performance. Those two, the couple, drove me crazy.
Thomas Hayden Church comes out to the jungle to get her. They don't really explain their relationship. Obviously, it's not a very strong relationship. But he comes out there to get her, and he's making all these one-liners, and I guess he's rich and entitled. And then they go out into the jungle, just him and her, for some reason. And that's when the lion tries to attack him, and George has to save the day. And that's when we get into what you were talking about, where he takes the lion. He gets bounced off a rubber tree. He spins the lion above his head.
He spins the lion like a basketball on his finger. How does he know about that basketball trick if he lives in the jungle? And you know what? What I've noticed about this film is the director has no understanding of physics and gravity. He's just like, I'm gonna disallow the laws of physics. I'm gonna make believe that we live in zero gravity, because the way George swings in this movie, he's like Superman holding a rope.
In some of the scenes, he is.
He just holds the rope. His body doesn't even. He's not even swinging like this. He's swinging like this, and his body is hanging in midair.
Hi, Shelley. I guess the point is he's supposed to be going so fast that you know how if you're holding on to something like in movies when somebody's holding on to the side of the train and they're like, and it looks like
it's not a train.
Yeah, I know. I think that's the point he's trying to make, is he's going that fast. But welcome in, Shelley Starwalker. Good to see you. Dan, this movie, and then he saves Leslie Mann from the lion. And then really, he's buddies with the lion, because he looks over at the lion and the lion winks at him and he winks at the lion, right?
Well, that monkey scene was quite good. I actually really liked that, because the monkey was trying to, is inspired by George, and he does this whole thing towards the lion. I feel like George has a really positive impact on the animals, and that's what I wanted George to be like Ace Ventura. That's what I think this film should have been like. This scene with the monkey going up against the lion, trying to make him sort of part of the crowd, the little monkey crowd, that was great. I actually liked that. But then it goes back to this, whatever her name was, Ursula, and, romance. It's just, ugh.
It's Ace Ventura was Max. Ace is that's a much better movie than this.
And can I just say, when she passes out after being saved, didn't you find when George licked her face very awkward? He just licks her face out of nowhere. Just goes like out of nowhere. It's like this is gonna remind Pete Medeva. This is like Randy Orton doing like an RKO out of nowhere.
I know.
He licks her face out of nowhere.
I do too, Pete. I do too, buddy. He says he sees many potential Muppet Badge of Honor potential recipients in the chat. I agree.
Yeah, I know.
Emily Ellis, Schumann, welcome in.
Hey,
I hope you're doing well. I agree. I didn't, but I don't even understand. I mean, I guess that makes sense to me because he's in the jungle and animals lick, and that's all he knows.
But
animals lick.
He speaks perfect English.
I know.
No, you know what? No, he tries to speak perfect English, but he speaks it too well. But then he speaks in the third person. It's like instead of being like, George, I am Monkey Man. No, it should be like he goes like, George, I am the Jungle King. Like he's like, it actually makes sense. Like it just.
You know, we actually got 30 people watching. Thank you, everyone, for being here.
We told you this was a not to miss show.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Melissa makes a good point. She says there's a fine line between the hilarity of Ace Ventura versus George of the Jungle. Both extremely silly, but one is hilarious and one is painful to watch. There's also a big difference there in Brendan Fraser and Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
The actor who is pulling it off. You know, if you have Jim Carrey as George of the Jungle, it might actually be funny. It might, because he could do it. Okay? I don't know that Brendan Fraser was that guy. I mean, Brendan Fraser also... First off, Brendan Fraser also did Dudley Do-Right.
Yeah.
Maybe he was at the end of his career. And he thought he had to take whatever he could take. But, oh my gosh, So, finally, she kind of falls for George a little bit, and she takes him out of the jungle into the city. Correct?
We missed two characters.
Oh, go back. Oh, the two bad guys. Go ahead.
No. We missed Shep. We missed Shep. Hey boy. Hey Shep.
Oh,
here comes Shep.
The elephant.
So I actually sent that to Shep, and he just burst out laughing. But like,
what's up, Marshmallow Man? Welcome in, buddy.
Hey, good to see you. It was really funny. And then we missed Tukey the Tukey bird, the news bird.
Oh, right. I forgot about.
Because you need a news bird like Sam Eagle, and just so unnecessary.
Well, to me, exactly, they were so unnecessary, and they had minimal roles. To be honest with you, that I wasn't even.
Tukey the Tukey bird was a plot device for one thing later in the film. That's it. That's all he was there for.
That's it. That was it.
And Shep didn't, not our Shep, but their Shep, didn't do anything. He did nothing. He became a canon later on.
How was he a dog? When did he ever see a dog to understand what a dog did?
Yeah. Why would a dog be in a jungle? Hey, Avery. Good to see you. Alex Brunner, welcome.
Is Avery here too? Alex Brunner, welcome in, guys. Good to see you. But I don't know. So Melissa makes a good point. And I'm shocked that he got the role of the Mummy. Because this was before the Mummy. I would have thought that those people would have said, there's no way in heck I'm giving this role to this guy. Yeah. But he did. He got it. What's up, Alex Brunner? Welcome in, buddy. Good to see you. And Avery, welcome in, too. I can't believe he got the role after this because he's actually really good in the Mummy.
He's good in the Mummy. But, you look at the next sort of clip coming up. And before you even get to the city, he falls for her, like you said. And he says to Ape, while she is sleeping, he goes, tell George how to make Ursula his mate. I'm like, who's writing this? And the guy, the other guy, I keep forgetting his name. He plays Sandman in Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
His name, right? He keeps falling over. I just thought it was just not funny. Him keep falling over was just not funny. The funny part was when, but the boo-boo guy saying to the camera, tilt our heads back and laugh is hilarious. So when he turns to the camera, he goes, We go.
It's time for us to.
It's time for us to tilt our head backs and laugh, and they go. That was hilarious. That was hilarious.
Fun. Yes, and Mike Wheeler. Yes, we have definitely talked about that. We understand that. He said you got to remember that George of the Jungle was first originated as a cartoon from the Rocky and Bullwinkle show. We're with you. We get it, but cartoons are better than this. This is better. This isn't the cartoon is better than what this was. I've watched cartoons that I'll watch 1,000 times that are better than this thing. That's where I have my issue with it. For me, I mean, there's stupid comedy, there's hilarity,
the dialogue. Mm-hmm. Run, Shep, run for your life! And he shouts at the top of his voice, and I'm just like, what are you doing? So then they go to San Francisco. I'll let you take.
Well,
that.
I don't even understand why they went to San Francisco. Again, I got to be honest with you, Dan. Look, by this point, I was half out of the movie. Okay, I was watching it because I had to, because I love everybody and I love you and I love everybody in the chat, and I want to try to bring you guys the best quality. But this was really hard for me, gang. They went to San Francisco, but I don't really know why they went to San Francisco.
Going to San Francisco was the most pointless thing in this movie. It was completely pointless. There was no reason for them to go to San Francisco. There was one good. There was some funny parts to it, but he says things like "to swing or not to swing," like when he's on the bridge. I feel that was quite funny. We realized that Ursula's mother is horrible, but horrible in that she was really annoying, and I didn't want her to talk in the film because, again, she was terrible and the writing was terrible. And then we'll just talk about him and being in San Francisco before he leaves, and I'll get onto why he leaves and how he leaves. Because it makes no sense.
And she's basically, at this point, they're in San Francisco, but she has basically fallen for him at this point, and she's going to tell her mother and father. And the mom can see it. She can sense that she's fallen for this guy, and the mom does have the heart-to-heart with George, and she's really honest with him when they're sitting at the table. And I can't say what she says, but
she's horrible.
She is horrible, but she's one of those, again, privileged. I hate to say it this way. We've seen these kinds of moms before.
Yeah.
We definitely, I think all of us have. And there's dads that are like that too. Don't get me wrong. There's tons of them that are like that. You're not marrying that guy. He's not going to be good for the family, or, this, that, and the other. It happens all the time. And that's basically the role she's played. But the dad is always quiet. He's there, but he's not really there.
But there's so many unnecessary. I feel like the whole of the San Francisco part of the film is completely unnecessary. The film should have stayed in the jungle, right? Why did we need to be introduced to Ursula's best friend? Why did we need to introduce to their mother and father? Why can this just happen in the jungle? Gotcha. There was no reason to go all the way to San Francisco for a fish out of water act 2.
Well, here's how I took it, okay? And I'm gonna get on this. I'm gonna talk about this because I think Matt makes a good point. Thoughts on the bad guys, the two bad guys. I'm gonna touch on that.
I call them the two doofuses. That's what I call them.
Well, we're gonna touch on them in a minute, but here's how I took the George of the Jungle going to San Francisco. Stick with me. It's a play on Tarzan.
It is. Oh, totally.
Okay, that's what it is. Tarzan left the jungle. He was very rich. He's Greystoke. I mean, he's filthy rich. But ultimately, where does Tarzan ultimately want to go? He wants to go back to the jungle. He doesn't want to live in society. He doesn't want to live in the civil world. It's what he's used to. That's what I took it as a play on that, as a play on Tarzan.
But that, I feel like that should have been saved for the second film. I feel like we should have focused in the jungle. We
True.
explore nothing in the jungle except for the treehouse,
Right.
and that's pretty much it.
Right.
Nothing else.
And the whole movie is all over the place. You're exactly right.
It's absurd. Which is why the reason why it's so all over the place. We even see that. We even hear it when the narrator goes, "Meanwhile, back on the Ape Island." I'm just like, why do we even need this narrator? Why?
Just for the hilarity of it,
But it's not hilarious. It's annoying.
But the two bad guys. So let's talk about the two bad guys. That's where the one guy was wearing the leather jeans or the leather pants out in the middle of the jungle where it's hot and it's like 150 degrees and the humidity's probably 120. And then they kind of make fun of him on it. The two of them are kind of like Laurel and Hardy.
They remind me a lot of Jasper and Horace from 101 Dalmatians.
Yes. But Jasper and Horace I like better.
Oh, there's not even a comparison. Firstly, why are all villains, why does one of them have to be British? It's like the most unbelievable cliche that every villain has to be, at least one of them has to be British.
Because British people are bad guys.
Yeah, clearly. 4th of July.
You don't think that? Of course, I'm sure that's part of it.
There we go.
Or Russians. Why are the Russians always the bad guys?
I'll just fly into a tree. Yeah, and I mean fly because there's no physics. You can't swing into a tree. You literally fly into it.
What's up, Carlos?
Hey, Carlos.
Carlos is here at Disney World Freak. Good to see you, buddy. Oh my gosh, no man, I'm not playing those guys. I can't. I don't think I could act that stupid.
I just selected Dad as George the Janitor Muppet. Great, thanks, man. I can always trust me.
But those two guys, to me, they weren't. First off, they really weren't funny. They weren't that funny at all. It was like the part where the coconuts keep hitting the one guy. You know, they're being thrown at him, and he keeps getting hit by them. And then he's arguing with the narrator.
Again, it's not funny.
It's not funny. It's just not. Again, maybe
it's so odd.
Look, I don't know that this movie's even made necessarily for us, but I'm talking about adults. But I don't know that it's made for kids either.
It's not. And we'll get into the slight adult humor in this film in just a sec. But these villains, the mom is more of a villain than the two poachers. It's true.
I agree. And it's just, I don't know. Or the banana. See, the banana skin slip to me.
It's so overdone.
It's so done so many times. But I get it. Where do you see banana slips more than anywhere else? You see them in cartoons.
And Mario Kart, and that's it.
Yeah, right, exactly. But cartoons or Mario Kart or something like that. Yeah. And again, this whole movie is a play on a cartoon, so it makes sense. I mean, I get that. What's up, Noah? Good, welcome in, buddy. Good to see you. Wendy says, "I think I cringed from start to finish on this movie."
I cried.
Yeah,
I cried. So
I don't know.
The scene with George and the mother sitting outside. I thought, okay, we're gonna get serious now, but I was not invested. I knew what she was going to say even before she started speaking. I knew what was going to happen. I knew, you're not right for my daughter. You need to go, like all the typical stuff that you would normally say. I'm just like, there's no surprise in this film. There's nothing in this movie that just, I don't know. It's bad.
Yeah. And then ultimately we go back to the jungle and they're back there because, before we even get there, right?
How does he get back? He's never been to San Francisco before. He goes off running after somehow Tukey finds him in San Francisco, and then he leaves San Francisco. How does he's never been before. How does he know to go to the shipment yard, get inside a box with Tukey, with a chair and drinks? How does he know to do that? He just runs off. He thinks... It almost seems like he knows where he's going, even though he's never been to San Francisco before.
I agree.
It's careless writing. And then the dad goes, when the dad tells her to go after him, and she's like really upset about it, the dad goes, "My God, that woman is a pain in the..."
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, that came out of nowhere.
Dan, you're not married, are you? We've all said that. Melissa said that about me too. Man, that guy, he's a pain in the you know what. So that was actually, I kind of chuckled at that because I get it. We've as a married man, I've said that about Melissa. I've said, Melissa, you are a pain in the, and she has said the same thing to me. But that line I kind of get. I can relate to that line. But
it's just the fact it came out of nowhere in this terrible.
It did, but it's a funny line because it's something you can relate to it. But you're right. And then they get back, and they open up the crate, and he's got bananas in there, and he's sitting on a chair.
Don't go there. This is the worst part in the movie.
He goes, and then he says, "I think next time I'm going to get a bigger crate or something like that."
Yeah,
and it's like, and then go ahead.
Out of nowhere, George of the Jungle, who's lived in the jungle all his life, he needs to run to save Ape.
He's been running in the jungle his entire life.
What does he do? What does he do? He puts on very clearly a close-up of Nike sneakers.
Puts on some Jordans.
Puts on some Nike Jordans. He literally stops. He puts on. There's a close-up. The camera has a close-up of these black Nike sneakers, and George of the Jungle puts on, and you see him running, and running, and running. These long shots of him in like this like leather tunic thing, wearing black Nike sneakers. I mean, look, Dana, you said it right. That is the most obvious product placement I think I've ever seen in a film. And you know what? I don't think even Nike like publicized this movie during the time. I don't think they even did that.
Who knows? But again, the product placement can be subtle, and Nike probably paid them for that.
It wasn't subtle, let me tell you. I don't know how many sales Nike sold after people saw that movie. I think people probably forgot Nike. Actually, no. I'm never going to forget that Nike sneakers were in this movie.
Yep.
How?
I know.
I
did remember that. Matt says, did you notice the piece of leather in Tookie's mouth after the cannon? Attention to detail.
We're not even there yet. The two doofuses, the reason why I call them doofuses is that
Dumb and Dumber.
They are worse than Dumb and Dumber. They go by the shortcut around the mountain, and they end up back at the campsite. Surely they would know where they came from instead of going back to where they came. They would go and take the shortcut. I mean, what complete, utter idiots.
Wendy says the plural of doofus is doofi.
Yeah, let me. And then this fight scene is hilarious. It's Tookie goes in the mouth of Shep, and Shep is wound up.
Oh, in his snot, in his snap.
Becomes a cannon. He becomes a cannon.
Yes, that's so funny.
And then when it's all said and done, when they finish this fight scene, the epic fight scene, right? The whole point was to get Ape out. What does George do? He leaves him in the cage. He leaves them in the cage. The whole point that he left from San Francisco to go back to the island to get him out the cage to defeat these two bad guys was to get him out the cage. He beats them and leaves him in the cage.
Yeah.
What an idiot.
Oh my God. I know it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And then after he beats up the two bad guys and he wins that part of the battle, The ex-boyfriend at this point comes back, and he's joined a cult. He's joined some kind of Russian mob or something. I don't even know how he could have done that.
On the island.
On the
Completely
island.
out of nowhere.
And then there's these 4 Russian guys that are there that are going to help him to get her back and then take...
And then you have ninja gorillas with nunchucks. What is this movie?
I tell you, whoever has seen this in the chat, God bless you. And if you like it, fair enough. But in the end, they get... I got to get to the end on this, Dan, because it's killing me.
Please get us to the end.
So in the end, they win. You know, Thomas Hayden Church goes over. Well, this is the other part. So he takes her away from George because he's got the help, of the other 4 Russian bad guys with him, and he gets on a boat with her, and they're getting ready to go down the rapids or whatever. And George happens to save her, and then they go into this like little tunnel area, and the bad guy, Thomas Hayden Church, thinks he's marrying her, but he's actually somehow a gorilla gets on the boat. And he marries the gorilla.
And you know what? I don't know how, and you know what? George said this was the biggest swing of his life. And when he did the swing, firstly, how long is this vine? Because he was literally swinging
for like 10 minutes.
Minute and a half, and there were jet noises. There were jet sound effects. He was swinging, and there were jet noises. I just don't understand. I don't get it.
Yes.
And you know what's funny?
James Ryan makes a good point. He goes, he says, now after being arrested for attempted murder and identified in a lineup, Lyle returns as a mail-order minister to whisk away his unwilling bride. Come on.
Like, seriously?
Pete. And then in the end, obviously, I don't even know how to explain it, but the bad guy goes off and is married to the ape now. And then George marries the girl and they have a baby down the road. And then the baby runs into the tree. Like father, like son, I guess.
You know what? You know what's really funny? We've done this whole review and we have not mentioned him watching out for that tree, because I feel like every time he goes into the tree, it becomes less and less and less funny.
Hi, Squirrel. Welcome in.
Hey, Squirrel.
It was mayhem. I'm sorry, but it definitely, that's a good word. That's a good word, is mayhem, for sure.
And then he has a kid. And then do you want to take the next cutscene?
No, I'll let you do it. I don't even think I remember it.
Because you think this film couldn't get any crazier with Nike sneakers, with really long lines with jet noises, with San Francisco with to swing or not to swing. George holds up his son like Simba in The Lion King. There is the iconic scene from The Lion King.
Yes.
He holds his son up on Pride Rock like the Lion King. Oh, yes. God. And you know what's funny? Is that the Lion King is set in Africa and this is set in a jungle.
Mm-hmm.
One is set in a jungle, one is set in a savannah. Again.
Well, they had to walk away to get there. They had to walk away. What's up, Rockin' Robin? Welcome in. I know. That was awful. I agree, Donna. It was bad.
And you thought this movie was over. Oh, no. It's not over yet.
Go ahead.
Because we find out what happens to Ape after he gets out of the cage. He goes to Vegas.
All right.
He goes to Vegas. Why?
I got to be honest with you. When we got to that part, I just cut it off. I didn't even watch it.
Oh my God.
All right. Well, you ready? We're coming up on 6:45.
Yeah, let's do this thing.
All right. So what we do after each and every movie that we watch on Disney Plus is we give it a grade. Everything from A+ down to F. Obviously, A+ is the cream of the crop, and F is pretty self-explanatory. Everybody in the chat, we want you to give a grade as well. Yeah. By the way, apes like casinos, Dan. Didn't you know that?
Yeah. No. Now I do.
Yeah, I didn't know that. But so
How do you know?
Dan, I'm gonna let you go first this week since you're the guest.
You got to bear with me. You got to bear with me. This movie is terrible. It's terrible. People are going to actually riot at me. I had more fun with this than I did Attack of the Clones.
Okay.
This movie is like Jaws 4, Batman and Robin, Superman 4, The Quest for Peace, The Room. Like, these movies are so bad that they are hilarious. They're actually, like, it's a bad movie, but I can watch it and be entertained because of how bad everything is. So I'm going to give it a D+.
Okay.
I'm giving it a D+. I don't think it deserves an F, because if it was an F, it would have been a really, really bad movie, like an absolutely terrible film, and I would have been bored, and I wanted just to turn it off every single minute. But with George of the Jungle, I feel like if I watch this again, you can watch this and, you know, have a couple lemonades or whatever and have a good time with it and just enjoy for how bad it is. And that's my way of thinking. It's terrible. It's horrible. The writing, the direction, but it is no. Yeah, it's a D+. D+ for me.
Okay. It's an F. I got
It's an F.
I'm sorry. Because everything you just said is exactly what I thought. I couldn't get through it. I wanted to stop it every time I could. There's nothing redeeming about this. You know, some movies can be so dumb that there are funny moments in them.
Yeah.
This one to me just didn't make me laugh at all. Period. I felt bad for some of the actors. I don't know. Richard Roundtree, I was surprised he even did this role. It makes sense now with Brendan Fraser because it was before he got the role of the Mummy. I don't know. This is an F for me. I won't ever go back and watch this. If I see this on TV, this is never going to be a movie that for me. I'm going to stop and go, oh, look, George of the Jungle's on. Let's watch it a little bit.
Oh gosh, there is a lot of. You got Fs from Tina McNeil, D- from Dana. I give this a Z-, Wendy,
And
F-, D-,
yeah.
D-.
I can't, James. I can't. I finished it because I had to finish it. If this was something I was watching just to watch, I would not have finished it, and that's why it gets an F for me. I would never have finished this movie.
Good thing we're not watching the sequel, because Brendan Fraser's not even in it.
Right? Because does that even make sense? Who even thought? First off, somebody thought there should be a sequel. Secondly, somebody approved it,
and then they made it.
And Super Disney Fan says it did make $120 million at the box office, but still an F.
Yeah. So did Cats, and you see what happened there.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
You know. They can make a load of money, but it could still be a terrible movie.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, this movie is not good. It's not good. But you know what? I love this because we watch films that maybe we've never seen before. Maybe we'll probably never watch again. But at least we can say we've watched George.
We've seen it.
We've seen it.
I don't know who we want to say that to, but we're going to say it.
We can knock it off the list. And it was a fun time. And you know what? There's a lot more to talk about because of how bad it was. Let's just cut the next 2 weeks.
It's true. She's right. Let's just forget it. But it's time for the poll.
It is. So you're going to get my Tyrion Lannister box. Here we go. So Let's see. This is going to be on my channel next week. So let me...
Everybody, well, before you pull that out of there, I've never seen Princess and the Frog, and I know everybody's going to be mad at me. Meg was saying last night that Dan should pull the Princess and the Frog out. If he pulls out the Princess and the Frog, I'm calling Greg.
Oh, I got to... Here we go. Here we go. Drum roll, everybody. Okay. This film is... We are watching on my channel next week. Now, we both love superhero films. It's not a Marvel film. We are watching, you probably can't see it, Sky High.
Oh, I've seen it.
We are watching Sky High. So you could either rewatch it this week or you know, because you have seen it, you might not want to watch it. You can already know it. But I'm going to rewatch it. I'm going to rewatch it. I think this is gonna be fun. I haven't seen Sky High in a long time. This was one of my childhood films, so we're gonna really enjoy Sky High next week. Sky High is a superhero film. It's a Disney. It's our first Disney Channel original movie.
What's his name? Flick Foley. Dave Foley's in it.
Kurt Russell's
in it. Kelly Preston is in it. Go watch it. It's a cute. Well, I don't want to give too much away. I want to save it for next week. I would suggest everybody go watch it.
And if you have seen it and you would like to join us, please reach out to either Walter or I, and we'll love to have you on the show to talk about Sky High. So, let us know if you have seen the movie. Come by. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Wendy, go watch it. Go watch it.
Kurt Russell, Kelly Preston. Daniel, so many.
It's all about heroes and sidekicks,
which I'm really looking forward to. So,
and which are you? Are you a hero or are you a sidekick? And it kind of goes. We'll get into it. Welcome in, Eric Newman. Good to see you, buddy.
Hey, Eric. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun film. That's gonna be next week on my channel, 6 p.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. UK time. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be for no spoilers, everybody. No spoilers.
Leave it alone.
There are some really great scenes, I think, in this film. So
it's fun. We'll talk about it.
It's a fun film.
It is. So, Dan, tell us before we head out. We still got a few minutes left. I want to do a little bit of extra. We're going to do a little bit extra today while we're going to take these 7 minutes. What's coming up on your channel? I got a lot to talk about our channel, but what's coming up on your channel?
So this week is actually going to be a little busy. Hopefully on Monday or Tuesday, I'll be releasing a very special video concerning episode 100 of Disney Fiasco. If you joined for episode 98 on the weekend, it was absolutely amazing. Me and Meg talked about our favorite Disney villains. This weekend, coming up, this Saturday is going to be episode 99. The weekend after will be episode 100. So there's going to be a big announcement this week about episode 100. So make sure you are subscribed to my channel, ring that notification bell, and keep an eye out because I'm going to need your help. I'm going to need everybody's help. And then Thursday will be Disney Nuts back on my channel with me and the Adventures of Gonzo. We're going to be doing our Disney YouTubers trivia, which is always a lot of fun. Disney Food Friday. On Friday, my members are hard at work choosing and voting for their food item this week.
I voted.
So you voted this week, so I think I know what you voted. So it's gonna be really interesting to see what the results are, and we'll see that on Friday. Cool. And then, like I said, Disney Fiasco episode 99, 7 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. And then we are right back here on my channel for Disney Movie Review, 6 p.m. Eastern for Sky High this coming Sunday next week.
Awesome. Well, for us...
Quickly. Make It Blue and I are doing a cast member stream as well this week.
Nice. On whose channel?
It'll be on my channel. Cool. I think we're thinking possibly Wednesday, Thursday.
Very nice. Awesome. But that's Dan. Got plenty going on. If you haven't already subscribed to him, do so. Go out there. If one of my mods could put his link in the chat, I'd appreciate it. Great channel, great content. That's why he's a partner channel. For us, we've got a lot going on. First and foremost, I want to say thank you to everybody who came to the live stream today. I hope everybody enjoyed it. I hope the picture quality was good. Hopefully it wasn't a lot of pixelation. We had a really great time today at Disney's Animal Kingdom. We tried to bring you guys as much as we could. I hope you enjoyed it. We're going to be doing more streams like that in the future. Those are fun. Those are a lot of fun. We definitely had a fantastic time with that. We've got new videos coming out. We just did a pass holder preview video that's out there now. Our A to Z challenge for our Man vs. Park is out there. We've got a ton going on. I'm actually going to Magic Kingdom tomorrow to film episode 2 of Man vs. Park. And I won't even tell you what that's going to be just yet. As I get it together, I'll let you know what it's going to be. But we have a ton going on right now. I will be on Pete McDevitt's channel next Sunday. Not this Sunday, not today. Next Sunday, I'll be on Pete's channel for Off the Wall. Come out and join us for that. He's going to ask me all kinds of crazy questions. That's going to be a ton of fun. Be sure to check us out there next Sunday. Tuesday night, of course, is Disanity. Still working on that. I got a few things I got to get. It's technically supposed to be special guest week. I haven't asked a guest yet, so that's why I have to ask a guest. I've already asked you. I got to get somebody new. You've already been on, but you might. I don't. If you get a call, be ready for it.
I'll have your people call my people call you,
and your people and my people will call each other.
There we go.
But other than that, we have more coming. I have a video, and Melissa went to Magic Kingdom yesterday for the grand reopening. And we're kind of going to do we did a compare and contrast from pass holder day to opening day. That video is coming as well. So tons coming from the channel. I want to say thank you to everybody for being a part of the channel. It's just been fantastic. You're all wonderful, wonderful people. Dan, any last words, buddy?
Well, watch out for that tree.
Sky high. It's going to be a totally different ballgame.
You know what? I am so excited. I'm so excited to finally not talk about George of the Jungle ever again.
Ever.
And ever. Sky High next week. I'm really excited. I haven't seen that since I was a kid. And then one day we will pick either a Pixar or a Marvel or a Star Wars film from here. But there is obviously a lot of films. But we you know what, we really enjoy doing these. We really do. And it allows us sort of to watch films that we may or may not have seen before. And, you know, hopefully it's kind of like our own sort of Disney movie book club, because then we, you know, if you guys want to take some time in the week and watch the films that we're watching in the week and then discuss it together on Sundays, it's so much fun. So, Pete, I'm not going to make my bed. It's 12 o'clock. I'm going to go into bed in a minute.
Sleep in it.
I'm going to go to bed in literally 2 minutes. So, I love Pete.
But thank you, everybody in the chat, for being here. Again, I say this all the time, and it's true. You always have a choice of where you spend your time, and you decided to spend it here with us. Your time is precious, and you spent it here listening to us talk about this horrendous movie. I don't know what to say other than thank you. It's always a pleasure to have you here. We love all our members. We love everybody in the chat. Doesn't matter whether you're a member or not. That's just an extra bonus, but we love you guys, all of you. And this is awesome, and we're going to keep going, right, Dan?
Absolutely. I love these.
Yeah, they are great. But guys, everyone, have a great week. Dan, how do you sign off?
Get more Dole Whip. No, live your life with a smile each and every day, and we'll see you all real soon.
Guys, take care of yourselves and each other, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye. George.